This March 11th, 2014 program of AwesMic City at Maria's Taco Express is the last show in the series. We thank Maria and Oscar and Aaron for all their help and support these last several months, and we wish them well. And AwesMic City will return again from some other venue in the near future, we're very sure. Meanwhile, seek out poetry in Austin, Texas. There's a lot of it around. Good evening and welcome to AwesMic City Poetry and Music at Maria's Taco Express. Tom, the world poet.
Yay! Let's
and
Scott.
On guitar, Scott Vanya.
Yay! I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a really wonderful treasure. It sure beats the tables and chairs, haven't got a leg to stand upon. But I want to start with the weather. Because the weather has been really, up till today. Today is heaven, right? Sunshine. It ain't gonna last. So here we go, palms out. Anyone out there got allergies? Down the back there, sneezing, coughing, wheezing, anyone? Hello? No, have anyone got allergies?
No.
That you're lucky. You're very lucky. Everyone else has. So this is for them, not for you.
Alright.
Coughs and colds and flu diseases. Everyone in Austin has allergies. Blame it on the cedar trees. Pollen comes from junipers. Every year the same diseases. Watch them coughing, watch them sneezing. Even when they chop all treason to make this village a cemetery for a living green and vital beings. Elders with Dutch elm disease. Always happens when we freeze. Winter, December to January. When will we be reasonable? Admit that this is seasonal. Mercury in our flu shots, fluoride in our water supply. Stay alive, heat on, indoor, tonight. Welcome to spring. Yeah, it's an exciting time, that's true. By now, you've all adjusted. False spring, mutable weather patterns. Yes, still these certainties, daylight and dusk. Cold rain and buds that rise towards its hidden sun. Seed crops that want to rise in green votes. City deserts bursting with weeds that want only to be green, gold and glorious gardens. Flowers spring, surprised from unexpected angles by the sides of roads and houses. Tell me, how comes this? We thought cold polar vortex had frozen us. Now we burst sunshine, bright and brilliant. We are as nature is, anarchist. Soon heat and green and buds and blossoms will return. Soon light and warmth and sunshine will come back. Meanwhile, we can watch the passing of light, shade, cloud and shadow and wait for seasons to repeat like that. They say tomorrow's going to be cold, okay? Now you remember the last storm we had in cold Austin? The tyranny of blue skies tonight. We never remember clouds, how they voted for rain in overwhelming teardrops. You never know until you've lost. The cost of forgetting is remorse. How we love the drama of emotions. Lightning moods, thunderous responses. King Lear as blind as Gloucester. But sedate someone with sunshine? Ooh la la, Shangri-La. Beaches, slap of waves, hypnotized forgetfulness. Sleep through this wakefulness, Jagger. Rip Van Man sings music to his hits. Every raindrop's another wish. Change comes in a sealed envelope. Who will be our sunny winner today? After the storm, you will forget the storm. After the storm, you will forget. Until the next storm comes along. Severity alarms and awakens you to the flooding fact you have no power over elements. Whip tides, they rise in rebellion, smash shorelines into oblivion, lay down railways on Roman roads, bent and broken. War envies such devastation. Whole nations shivering, elders in isolation, children without education. Now you remember Keats. Seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness. Storm-tossed crops and empty sandwiches. In your lifetime, small comparisons. Snowflakes, snowstorms. Winds that gust cyclonic powers, tempests and typhoons, cynics, pessimists and apocalyptic regionalists agree when it comes to treatment of this earth and nature we lack honesty. Frackers, beware. earthquakes and hurricanes. Water is conscious, is watching, will expel and expunge all plastics. She was here long before us, will mutate long after we are gone. Listen to her wild winds and waving songs, 'cause I love these days and nights that we are in. It's been 19 years since the full moon and St. Valentine's Day were united. Now that frisky couple are reunited for more celebratory powers. And the streets of Austin are littered with hearts and flower sellers. Each day, weather is a dervish whirlwind, almanacs and seasons fail prediction, geoengineering, nanoparticulates, simultaneous drought, storm, snow and flooding. This makes every moment precious, every dream a script. Empires are big and huge, fail spectacular to be trusted. CIA rendition murders, tortures, NSA, military, universal surveillance, FBI malfeasance, TSA corruption, assaults. Meanwhile, jails filled with non-violent marijuana users now legalized. Brian Wilson sings, "I was not made for these times." But we are, and are genetically being modified to incorporate matrix computers and robotics. In 2014, we're more than 1914 or 1984. We will mutate into more. I just walked out and saw this low-slung golden sun, small and silent upon a winking Tuesday afternoon horizon. We were made for these times, and I enjoy each shining, unpredictable moment. I went to the emotional supermarket. You ever been to the emotional supermarket? That's exactly right. I'm very happy on Wednesdays when it's double coupon day at the market. I said, "Could I have a bag of mixed metaphors, please? Something about the economy, stupid, and the buck stop here. A little light shed under my huge utility bills, notice due. Some sadness about unaccountable black budgets and a slight rueful smile over whistleblowers and the light brigade. Flash mob me messages about femin and ad busters. Track all calls from the NSA to make sure they're genuine patriots. Invest in optimism, energy stocks and volunteerism. Get out to open mics like this one tonight before they all become Starbucks. If it's where you put your energies that count. You are all investors in the body, non-corporate, non-corps. You will walk, you will drink, you will listen, you will talk, you will witness, you will create, you will share. Your personal stocks are rising like green grass in Austin's spring sunshine. You profit most by participation, peace, and our time. And I say, when Atlanta snowed, traffic did not flow. Crashes, smashes, closures of airports. A disaster of domestic proportions. When Austin recovered from her 3-day winter, the sun returned like this afternoon as if it had always been here. Now we have post-full moon glow, Valentines with gentle hearts and moons, and little Austin's gridlock can prepare for South by Southwest Festival Spring. Weather is so geo-specific. Even if predictions are world-based, it's our little villages like South Austin will save us. When waves of wild windy weathers turn around and go the other way. We're all folk. In the University of Grass, we're all graduates. Spinifex, crabgrass, St. Augustine, tame, wild, feral, every blade of grass, an independent republic. To a lawnmower, such differences are moot. Decapitation post-revolution's commonplace. But every blade of grass has truth. Different, but similar in this. We are all folk. In our differences and similarities, in our songs and our harmonies, in the very DNA of our being. Doris Lessing affirmed the grass is singing. Walt Whitman affirmed leaves of grass. Every poet, troubadour, minstrel, storyteller, griot, bard shares guitars. Folk is a culture of ordinary people, taken from them and given back. Freedom song, slave song, protest song, poems, petitions, and who else to represent us best but green men and women. We are the people, we the people of the United States, carry the spirit, we carry the spirit of every folk singer, especially Pete Seeger. Pete Seeger, we love Pete Seeger. I'll just do one more. Has anyone done spring cleaning yet? I started today. I started shifting 40 boxes of poetry. But I didn't know where to put them, so I brought them here tonight. They're on the table there. Help yourself. I got plenty. It's true. Poetry is all poetry. Here we go. I am talking to you from amongst shelves of endless costumes, boxes of endless poems, Sacks of endless photographs. Newspapers, magazines under which is a carpet I haven't seen for 2 decades. Spring returns to Austin, but gravity wins again. Every time I turn to the wilds of possessions, they sing like sirens, "You need me, Tom, you need me." And sometimes I feel I do, even when we broke up long ago. And I determined to live an object-free existence. Well, these objects are free to do as they will. They spill out of containers, fall in piles, fill up every inch of my bathysphere. My pod overfloweth. I can delay no longer. One of us has to go, so I delay further. Write a poem about mess and how hard it is. Don't go listening to this stuff. You're not supposed to listen to it. That's right. It's like a plane. Here we go. Write a poem about mess and how hard it is to release, and watch as all my walls come closer. Claustrophobia is no excuse. Memories, dreams, stories, friends, ghosts, shadows, evidence of a living past. Well, I guess they are my comfort in a confusing age. They reassure me that things were simpler once. Film photographs, mimeographs, actual videos, and another day passes. I sit and I sift and I swallow tears at all the past. I so much want to release, but I fear that life is now too fast. Hey!
Scott. And now, speaking for himself, Scott Vanya, he plays guitar. He makes up wonderful philosophical poetry while he's playing the guitar.
Yes.
Fantastic. Scott Vanya.
Yeah.
See if I can get my fingers right. Spent the better part of the last 2 weeks or so caring for my children. I'm from a divorced family, and my wife took ill. So I took care of my kids and loved every minute of it. Threw myself entirely into it, as I think people should when they're with their children. And all the while, in the back of my mind is, there will be a place to go where I'll let my proverbial hair hang out and my fingers will tickle a couple of strings, and I'll get to sit in an audience and listen to people motivated to say what's on their mind and what's in their heart. It doesn't need to be loud or vulgar to be poetic. It just needs to be honest. Where have you been? What streets have you walked down? Were they like mine? Were they riddled with things that tried my patience or yours? Were they filled with things of immutable joy, like a daughter sitting on your knee outside as the rain came down? Remember the rain? Seems an eternity ago, but it was just 2, I think. We don't know where we're going to be in a half hour. We don't even know what song will be going through our mind. But in the center is a hometown filled with so much love. The people are called open mics and cafes and bars and things. Not to drink coffee or eat Mexican food, but to feel the companionship of like souls and minds. I'll be glad to be here so many times tonight, and I'll write things down and I'll say things that will make up my mind for me about what I'm supposed to do. Burrito, taco, margarita. Somewhere along the line I'll have some bite of a poem or an idea or a face that'll make it all make sense. As I said before, I'm glad you're here. Thanks.
Springing. As my mother says, The trees are a-treeing, the birds are a-birding, and the bees are a-beeing. I saw blossoms in January, but I said to the trees, I hope you guys know what you're doing. They pulled back their buds through icy days and nights, and now they're back at it. It's about time, you know. It's March already. It's Austin, Texas, for God's sake. Spring is finally springing. Things are springing all around and greening. So now I say to the trees, make like yourselves and leave. And you know, they do. Thank you. I substituted February for March there. It was very clever. The plan. I have the concept now. I comprehend the logistics. Once I devise a strategy, a plan can be formulated. The task is laid out before me. I can visualize the precise procedure. I can outline each phase step by step and marshal my resources to the job. Nothing can stop me now. All that remains is to get started. I will clean my house soon. Thank you. Spring cleaning. Last time I did spring cleaning, it took me 8 months. So, wish me luck. Well, it wasn't long ago when we had some cold weather, and we may have some again yet. This one's called Patches. Shadows and patches sway on the frosted window pane. An abstract play of swatches projected through moonlight. Translucent chill incarnate drifts across a membrane of flickering twigs and leaves breathed on cold glass. Sepia puppet silhouettes gambol over the icy film, the partition hoarding warmth against the elements, while I, snug inside my bundle of comfy bedclothes, view the wintry panoply insulated from that harsh world. Thank you, thank you. And I'm still looking forward to the spring, which seems to be here, at least is here today. The meadow. A new meadow forms in my backyard, splotched by sunlight through big elm and pecan. Tiny leaf plants, not quite grass and clover, blanket the shady downslope in an autumn finally come to the gentle city of the violet crown. A feral kitten of splotches black and white, half-grown catten interloping the territory of the family Cappuccino, my cat's 3, ignoring the wild child, cute feline invader, not yet deemed by them a tangible threat. Drought had killed the nicely shaded lawn. Just 3 years and 3 droughts back, the yard had survived the long-time weather and neglect. Thrice iterations of weedy ground cover reigned, each one holding its own motley and homely regime. The meadow exists for now, in the bright Texas fall, until replacement by the winter grass of December. Next spring, a renewed meadow will display new flora. Whatever comes, I know it will take me by surprise. Thank you.
Did the third cat come back? Did the third cat come back?
The third cat never came back. He disappeared in October when it rained so much, and I don't know what happened. Maybe he was in, you know how sometimes cats go in the gutter looking for mice, and who knows. I still got his brother and his mother with me though. Last year there was a poetry reading at Recycled Reads where, where I now MC once a month Yes, I do. The first Sunday of every month. And Recycled Reads is a Austin Public Library resale bookstore, and you can get some great books there cheaply. They've got Wi-Fi. You can sit there with your laptop and check your email and type all day. It's a wonderful place. But before I started emceeing there every month, there was an international poetry event, and there was a little girl there about 8 years old, and her poetry was so sophisticated. You know, I'm sure I couldn't have written, I know I didn't write that well at her age, because when I was 12, 11 or 12, Alaska became a state, and I wrote this poem. All hail to Alaska, state number 49. Though some folks still say Texas is mighty fine. If all the ice in Alaska should quickly melt away, it wouldn't be half as big as Texas is today. Thank you. I got a little bit better. When I was in high school, I wrote this remembering back when I was about 2 years old. The back porch. Impressions of early childhood. Prone on the porch, I watched as my mother hung clothes against the sky. Feeling the cool slab caressing my bare stomach, chest, and chin, I faced a scampering pillbug eye to eye, then took him up in a ball to the popsicle wrapper with his friends. Now on my back, hanging my head over the smooth porch's rough edge, and looking straight skyward, miles above the drooping banana plant leaf, I was peering down from a concrete ledge, observing some cotton puff ships circumnavigating a cirrus cloud reef. Turning on my side, propping my jaw in my hand with my elbow, catching a quick shadow which turned into a great brown grackle, I saw the bird swoop to the cottonwood below. Its cement mixer voice drawled on its way from the telephone line with a crackle. Pondering the world, all was cool cement, swift breeze, and sunlight. In the late morning, everything was what the senses felt and saw and heard. From the shaded back porch, all appeared to be bright in that innocent age of no time and no deed and no word. Thank you.
Okay. We live in a desert of cities where our totems of pigeon and sparrow, displaced by blue jay and grackle, peck at the stones on our ground. Our wings have carbon emissions. Our stars are spy satellites. Our heavens crisscrossed by aircraft. Our roads kiss in eternal gridlock. I read the white plastic sacks stuck in trees. Emergency lights, ambulance, EMS, APD. Signs and symbols are everywhere. Yet the homeless only knew how to read. La pomme for South Austin. South is another language, son. Baptist, evangelical, pagan, and Methodist. Slow and sunny with a wry sense of humor. Stories pre-Civil War with history to match. Think cotton to oil, train to toll road. Think grits, cornbread, beans, briskets, rice. Think hellfire Jesus. Think gun. Think shooting and hunting. Think quilting, sewing, folk arts. Think poverty and cornrows. Why think? South awaits you when you slip below that Mason-Dixon line. Enjoy the past mixed with the present tense. Cultural displacement in South Austin. When I first came here, son, silence, slowness, springs, trees. Tell me, did I bring this traffic here with me? These high-rise towers, the dwarf teepees? Am I my car with a solo occupant? Is bulldozing development? Ghosts and shadows, indigenous illegals hide from force, yet force is applied. When they are caught, they disappear, becoming stories and folk songs. Same is happening to our dispossession. We have no numbers for a peace demonstration. We have no placards to protest this change. We are aware this has happened before. In our skin it's happening again. We own nothing save the breath within our lungs. Soon they will claim eminent domain. Seek repossession with a gun. Who else around here wants to be Ronald McDonald? No one else? Then I guess it must be me. A flip-flop clown suit, sitting on a park bench, smiling like a rainbow, beaming after school. Kids understand me, in fact they want to be me. But none of them have the bravery, so they wear their uniform. Best they can be is managers. Yeah, look at their corporate icon. They're being led by a life-size clown. So if you need reality, remember old fantasy, we'll have to make do until a better one comes around. Love poem to South Austin, number 42. From weird to AwesMic. Once upon a tie-dye, everybody wanted to be in South Austin, a slacker or musician. As they grew older, grayer, their colours changed, revolutionary red, sometimes campaign pink, black anarchy to black and white independent filmmaking. Austin now spells gridlock, valet parking, condominiums, public facilities for private profit, festivals ad infinitum, creative culture morphed into consumerism, with only small independent individuals to make anew. And here comes you. To be as mobile as an app, young digitals use Uber, Zipcar, Lyft. They do not feel the need to own, just use as freemium or lease. Merging and morphing of market shares takes iTunes to Spotify. Software, hardware, food and fashion, one rental at a time. Think Redblock, Netflix, over Blockbuster. Think Google Games as a subscriber-based system. Paying for a phone on a non-track monthly system. Relating need to supply on a per-use item. Think lay-by. Adapt to instant gratification. Have your groceries delivered or your laundry done or services provided on a per-item basis. Depth of 1,000 cuts or a way of adapting for a full-use app world will change as fast as depreciation of ownership contracts. Young know, rent and return find ways of gaining free apps to navigate virtual world as if it ever were real.